I just understood a couple hours ago why people actually worship or feel the need to worship, like, let's say, God or Jesus or any other religious figure or deity. I just realized that um because I was thinking of humans, right? Human nature, what we are like naturally drawn to do, and what we do, what's like wired in our brains to do. And looking at the history, our human history, the patterns that are the undeniable patterns of us always worshipping power, worshipping what has the greatest power, defending who has the greatest power. You see today people defend or try to like make excuses, sorry excuses for like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, just because they're powerful people. We hold things in power with great reverence. No matter if they're inherently bad. Even let's say lions, for example, like they're dangerous to us. They're powerful, but they're dangerous to us. To like be growing up, just messing anyhow. We hold lions in high regard. Like wow, if we see like a lion get killed, it's kind of like oh, you know, it's kind of sad. Like things like that shouldn't be happening. But when we kill like an ant or an insect, a fly, no one bats an eye. No one hardly bats an eye, and that's the difference. That just shows you the difference in how we treat things on different levels of like power. And so I just thought of it like, oh, that makes sense. Why, you know, when we look at religion, that we end up worshipping the thing that created everything. We believe that something's created the whole world, that something has the power to create an entire planet, universe. Obviously, we're gonna hold that thing that has that much power to a high standard, to a high reverence, to the point where we worship it, And we see that with people as well. People with money, maybe people with clout, like rappers and things like that. Like, we all have rappers we admire, or celebrities we admire, or influencers we admire, that we view them as holding some great power, because they have a great influence. They have, it doesn't even have to be a money thing. They just believe in themselves. I think it's just that. I think it's just influence, to be honest with you. With humans, it's just influence. How much work you're able to. Oh yeah, that's interesting. How much work you're able to put in, and how much it will affect things, if that makes sense. Like, most people at the top don't have to work as hard as a lot of people that are busting their ass, and they're still broke. Some people at the top, little effort, little effort of work, and a lot gets done, if that makes sense. And maybe that's an example of just like power that in other humans that we worship. So yeah, I was just thinking about it because for a couple of weeks, my friends and I have been kind of debating on the concept of, is worshipping God really worth it? Like, does it really matter that much? Let me see. And every time, one of my friends always brings up the fact that, don't you think God created this universe. Think about, like, he kept telling me about the creation, and I was just thinking, what does this have to do with anything? Like, honestly, I think because that's not what I look at. How do I put this? I just didn't care. I just didn't care enough to consider something like that. But it was only now that I realized why you were saying this repeatedly. Like, think about the creation. Think about, God literally created you. You can't have come out of nothing. Which I acknowledge, obviously. I acknowledge that there's a God and stuff. But I just didn't really think too deeply into the whole thing of, God has that much power that he created everything. I saw it like a thing of that we are on par, because we have the same principle of creation within us that God has, as he's made us in his image. We're children of God. We create things twice, first in our minds and then physically. And God dwells within us also. Through God's energy, we are creating constantly, whether it be good things or bad things. So it's just a epiphany I had that obviously people would worship God and Jesus and Allah because they believe that they are responsible for the creation of this world, and that's not an easy task. Like, we could hardly create a planet at all. We can't create a planet. Sky's still the limit in terms of what we can actually do. I still believe we have the power within us, the power of conviction, power of creation within us. Just not on that scale of universes and planets. I mean, I don't know, maybe in a couple centuries, some human will be able to transcend, or maybe peer into the veil of the formless substance that makes up all matter. Well, that's all I have for today. Stay blessed.